Hello everyone, this is Dan from DesignCode, and today I'm going to show you how we create this animation in After Effects. This animation is part of our promotional video for our new game, Elon's Space Adventure. This is a two-part section, where we are using different techniques to recreate this animation. I really think you will find this interesting, so let's jump in. Okay, let's go to After Effects. Over there we need to create a new composition. We will call the composition Elon's Space Adventure. We will use 1920 by 1080 and we are giving a duration of 18 seconds. Then we need to recreate the scene that you saw before. So we need the moon, the mountains, the ground, the stars, etc. To do so, let's go and import the different assets. And let's choose the 5 folders. Okay, perfect. Let's go to folder number 3, called Stage, and let's drag and drop all the different assets to the timeline. Nice. Now, except for stars, let's select the rest of the assets, and let's scale it down to 20%. Now, we need to rearrange the different assets on the canvas. We need the ground can be on the top. And maybe we can move mountain number 3 to almost the bottom. Then also we need that the stars can be in the bottom. And let's put the moon before mountain number 3. And I will just fast forward this part so you can see how I rearrange the different assets on the canvas. Okay, nice, it's looking good. Now, we need to recreate our background. To do so, let's create a new solid, and we will call it background. Let's put this background to the bottom, and we will give an effect. Go to Effects and look for Gradient, and choose Gradient Ramp. Double click to it. So let's add the different colors. The blue we are using here is 322D6D. And for the bottom, we have this green, 18BAB8. We are all set. The next thing we will do, we need to add a camera. Why a camera? Because we will do some panning at the end. Let's choose New, Camera, and we are using 2-node camera. We will call it camera number 1, 50mm. Okay. And here is asking that we need to convert all our 2D layers to 3D layers, so that will be easy to do. The only thing we need to do, we need to check these boxes of all our assets. Nice. So we are all set to start with animation. I will do one more thing before we can start with animation. I will select mountain number 2 and I will move it to the right. Nice. Before going further, let's save our project. I will call it Elon's Space Adventure. Nice. Now, let's go to the part of the animation. What we need to do now, we need to animate Elon's character. We need to recreate the part where he is walking. To do so, let's go to the project. Let's go to the walk folder. Before that, let's lock all these different layers because we won't use this right now. I will select the different assets from walk number 14 to walk number 1. So let's drag and drop it to the timeline. Now I will go to Transform and I will scale it down to 20%. Also, don't forget to convert this to 3D layers as well. Nice. Now, I will nest all these different assets in a new composition. To do so, go to Layer, Pre-compose, and we will call this Walk. Perfect. And make sure that you also convert Walk on a 3D layer. Let's enter to the new composition. Double click on Walk, and as you can see, we have all the different assets organized in a new composition. So we need to rearrange the assets. Let's put walk number 1 at the top and following the sequence, number 2, 3, 4, etc. with walk number 14 in the bottom. I will fast forward this part. Now I will select all the different layers and I will give to each one of the layers 3 frames. I will zoom in the timeline. Now I need to define the region of interest. To do so, select this icon and you can select the region of interest. I will zoom in a little bit the canvas and now I will crop the region of interest. To do so, go to Composition, Crop Comp to Region of Interest. Perfect. Now we need to organize the different layers in the sequence. There is some different ways to do so. For example, I can just drag the layer to the right, but an easy way, you can select all the different layers, right click, go to Keyframe Assistant and select Sequence Layers. You hit OK, and as you can see right now we have all the layers organized in sequence, and we can see the animation. Since the animation is short, maybe we can repeat some of the layers, like that we can have a longer animation. So we need to copy some of the layers. For example, if you go to walk number 4, you will see that it is subsequent to walk number 13. So if you want to have a longer animation, maybe we can copy from walk number 4 to 13 2 times more. I will select walk number 4 until walk number 13 and I will just paste it. One time and another time as well. Nice. So I will organize them. And as you can see, I leave walk number 14 to the end. So we just put it right after walk number 13. So let's watch all the animation. This is looking really good. So let's go to the last frame. And as you can see, we are in the second tree with 12 frames. So maybe we can cut the composition as well. So let's go to Composition, Composition Settings, and over here we can define the duration to 3 seconds and 12 frames. Perfect. And now I will close my composition. We are back to the main composition and we can position our character to the left side of the canvas. So this is the point when Elon will start walking. I will just put it a little bit down. So just to make sure that we have the right alignment, maybe we can use the rulers. I will press Command R. And I will zoom in. And I will place our character just in the line. Nice. So our character needs to walk from point A, which is here, to point B, which will be around here. We need a reference for point B, and the reference will be the car. As you can see, we have folder number 4, car, and we have the wheel and the roadster. So I will just drag and drop it to the timeline. And the same thing, we go to transform, we scale it down to 20%. Then I can flip horizontally the car. So I will go to transform, to scale, and I will put -20. Perfect. Then don't forget to transform this also to 3D layers. and I will just rearrange the car. I will zoom in. Nice. Don't worry about the other wheel, because afterwards we will duplicate this wheel. I will select the wheel and the car, and I will place it around here. I will zoom in, and I will make sure that the wheel and the car are both aligned vertically to our character. Nice, it's looking really good. Okay, now we have the point of reference for our character. We need to add one more thing to our composition. Right click on the composition, go to time, and choose Enable Time Remapping. Perfect. So as you can see, we have the frame 0, and we have the last frame over here. And we can see the different sequence of layers in our character. So let's go to Transform, and let's add a keyframe for the position. And the last position, when our character will finish to walk, will be around here. So we can move the character until he will arrive to the car. Also, we can smooth the animation. To do so, select the two keyframes that we just add in position. Then we right click, go to Keyframe Assistant and choose Easy Easy. Nice. So let's watch the animation. It's looking really good. Now we need to add the part when Elon discovers the car. So the helmet will go a little bit down and then up. To do so, let's go to our assets and let's go to the extra folders. Number 5, and we have head, and then we have body. So let's choose both of them, and let's drag and drop it to the timeline. Perfect. We will do the same thing. Let's go to transform. We will scale it down to 20%. Then we will transform them to 3D layers, and we would just move it near to the car. Perfect. And we need to put these layers after the frame when he finished to walk. So I will zoom in the canvas. It will be exactly after this frame. Then I will choose these two layers, and I will just put them after the final frame of the walk. So as you can see, we have the final frame of the walk, and then we have Elon that stops in front of the car. Now we need to align the body and the head to the last frame of our character. So I will just place another ruler and I will go to the next frame. Good. Maybe a little bit to the left. And maybe we can place the head a little bit down. Nice. What we need to do, we need to move the head down and then a little bit up. Let's open the head properties and we go to rotation. I will place a keyframe. Let's move the scrubber some frames to the right. And let's add a new keyframe when the head will go down. And after that, the head will go up. So let's watch it. Or maybe we can give a little bit more of time when the head is going up. Nice. What we need to do now is to recreate the moment when Elon gets surprised, so we need to add the surprise and Elon standing assets. And this will come right after when he finishes moving his head. So I will place the scrubber, and exactly one layer after is when we need to put these two assets. So I will drag and drop it to the timeline. Nice. And I will do the same thing. I will scale it down to 20%. I will make these 3D layers as well. I will zoom out the canvas a little bit, and I will place it exactly in the same position as the head and body. I will zoom in. Perfect. Then I will take the surprise asset and I will move it up and a little bit to the right. Nice. Now I will reduce the surprise asset until this frame, and the same thing for Elon standing. Perfect. As you can see, we are in the second floor with 19 frames. And I need to reduce the head and the body to 4 seconds and 18 frames. I will zoom in the timeline just to make sure that we are in the right frames. Yeah. So let's watch how it looks like. Nice. Now let's create the animation for the car. So let's choose the wheel and the roadster, and we will nest the assets. So let's go to layers, pre-compose, and I will name this composition car. I will make it a 3D layer, and I will double click. Just fit it. Nice. Then I will move the car and the wheel a little bit to the left. Cool. The next thing we need to do, we need to give the vibration to the car. So let's open the car. Let's go to transform. And more or less we can define when the engine of the car will start. So in this case, I think it can start in the 4th second with 8 frames, and we will add a keyframe to the position. So over here, until 846, and around here to 848. Since we need that this movement can be continuous, we will add an expression to the position. We hold the Alt key, we press on the clock, and we write loop out ping pong. Nice, so let's see the animation. Perfect. Now we need to duplicate the wheel, but first we will give some animation to the wheel. So let's go 1 second after, around 5 seconds and 8 frames, and I will place a keyframe over there, and at 9 seconds and 19 frames, more or less, we can place another keyframe, and I will give 212 by 12 times. So let's see how it looks like. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Okay, next, we need to duplicate the wheel. Command C, Command V, and I will just drag it to the right. I will zoom in. Perfect. I will zoom out. And I will do the same thing that I was doing with the other compositions. I will select the region of interest. And then I will crop come to region of interest. Nice. And I will go back to our main composition. Perfect. Well, the car moved because we move it on the other composition, but we just can put it in place again. I will zoom out. Let's zoom in the canvas. And let's watch the whole animation. Nice. So this is the end of our first part, and we learned many different things. We animated our character, we animate the car, we add some time remap, we also add some easy ease to our effects, and we create some pre-compositions. I'm really excited that we are together in this After Effects journey, and I can't wait to start the new section. Until then, see you in the next one. Bye.